So it's the evening of January 1st, and I have to go back to work tomorrow. I'm just here at home trying to prepare. I'm watching motivational videos on YouTube to get my spirits up and get me in a okay enough mood to really go back to work. But deep down, I'm kind of down and kind of sad and kind of resentful that I have to go back to work so quickly. It's like the new year is today, and then we are rushing back to work so quickly, but that's how it is. I've only had 6 business days, 6 working days where I've been off, and that was not enough. I spent the first 3 days trying to relax and enjoy myself. And the last 3 days have been me trying to figure out how I'm going to go back to work. I had such a good time, not really stressed or thinking about work, but now I'm thinking about all the things I didn't finish and all the work I'm going to have to finish. It's pretty stressful. So that is where my mind is at right now. Okay, but the reason why I am making this video is because I never really explained my whole reasoning for my channel. So basically, I moved to a city on the East Coast for a job. It was a higher paying job than where I was before. So I moved from Georgia and I moved to a city that's still on the East Coast. I was really excited. Um, I did I didn't know what to expect. I was trying my best not to have too large or too high of expectation, but I know I needed a change and I needed something to shake up my mundane everyday because I was doing the same thing. Um, and I was getting to the point I was getting bored or I was getting burned out or like something was happening to the point I know I needed a change. So I moved um summer of 2023 and I've been here since, and I moved for a job. I applied for a job and I got it and I moved for the job. However, um several months into the job I realized I was having a very hard time adjusting. In hindsight, I realized I did relocate and I have a new job. It's a lot of new things happening at once. But I would say about 9 to 10 months into starting a job, I realized, oh, this is not a good fit for me. And since then, I knew I needed to go, or I need to find a new job. I need to go somewhere else. I need to do something because um, I I need to find another job. But I had this plan that I was going to ride it out for a little bit, for like another year or so, because I still moved to a new city. I'm still trying to learn the city, understand it, what's going on. But in the process, I realized that it my job was causing me more stress than it needs to. Um, it was giving me burnout. Um, the role in itself was just not a good fit for me. It was not as interesting as I thought it would be. So I've been going back and forth. I've been dealing with a lot of like, oh, I want to try to do my best, but at the same time, in my role, I'm like, I have no interest in doing it. So I'm going back and forth. It's a lot, but it's 2025. It's January 1st, 2025, and I realized, oh, this cannot last. I cannot do this. All of 2024 was very bad for me work wise. I've never been in a role where I hated it so much. I I never been in a role that was did not suit me that well. I'm pretty picky when I apply for jobs because I know I have specific interest that would keep me encouraged, motivated to keep doing my job. And I was a little iffy about this position when I took it, but I took it because it paid more than what I was making at the time. Um, but as I've come to find out that a higher salary is not the only criteria to picking a job. So all of 2024 was pretty rough for me job wise. I still try my best to really gain the skills I needed to do the job, but it's just I was having difficulties remembering how to do basic tasks. Um, a lot of the things people were talking about within my department or outside my department were it was just going over my head. It was hard for me to retain information. That was the main thing. I couldn't retain information. And I'm one of those people that I am a very quick learner. And there's a lot of things it was taking me an extremely long time to grasp. And that was just kind of my sign like, oh, something's not right. Something is like, this is not my norm. This is not what usually happens. So during 2024, I realized, oh, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I need to figure out what other type of job I want to go to or like what else I want to do in my life period. Because it just felt like I was just in a life that I was creating a life that I actually did not want. I was feel like I was really taking steps to commit to a life I didn't want, and I kind of had to stop and like really assess what I want and try to make changes to get to the area or the life that I want. And this is kind of where I'm at right now. I've already went through the process of like doing a lot of journaling. Um, I've done a lot of research. I've even went back to how I felt, or I went back to some dreams and aspirations I had when I was younger, um, to really understand what my purpose is or what I would like to be doing instead of what I'm doing now, instead of how my life is kind of forming now. So that's so that is mostly why I'm making this video. Um, for 2025, I'm wanting to make dramatic changes to my life. And I mean like 180 changes. Like I, I'm going to end up being, or I'm going to look like a whole new type of person. Like everything that I'm currently doing now that I don't like, and I actually don't plan on having or doing for the rest of my life, I want to change. And that includes my job, that includes um, where I live, um, my interest. It's just going to be a dramatic change because I realized that I want a life that is completely different from what I'm doing. And in order for me to get there, I'm going to have to make some big changes. So I'm using 2025 as a year where I make these changes. I the energy that I feel for this year is very different. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like it's more supporting. I feel like I have the opportunity to shift into a life that aligns more with what my natural talents are, what I'm interested in. So I'm using this year to really make these changes. Um, and I'm going to be going through this journey of make figuring out what I want to change and finding or creating the steps to make sure that I can make these changes in the areas of my life that I don't believe align with me. So that is my goal. And then my first goal is to definitely quit my job. That has been causing me a lot of stress. And this quitting my job is gonna cause me it's gonna make me very anxious and but I have to do it. I'm very um what do you call it? I'm very financially stable minded. It took me a very long time to get financially stable, including my job, even if I have a job lined up or not, um, makes me very anxious, very nervous. But I know that's what I have to do because I cannot stay in a place or in an environment that is causing me so much stress and so much anxiety to the point that I am having muscle spasms because I'm so tense. Um, that is definitely not something that should be happening. So, but definitely quitting my job this year is one of the major changes I will be making. And like I said, I've been trying to figure out what else I want to do. Um, I haven't really. I've been applying for jobs. I've been looking up jobs. I found some things that interest me, but I'm going to wait a little while before I share them first because I'm still in the place of like I am interested in certain roles. I am interested in certain positions. However, I just don't feel comfortable sharing them just yet. But I will be sharing them down the line. But yeah, that's about it. Just trying to mentally prepare myself for going back to work after the new year. Um, I am hoping for the best. I'm going to find some affirmations to help me get mentally prepared, and I'm going to make sure I partake in my meditation and mindfulness practices because I I've found them very useful when I'm just getting like a little anxious and communicating with people, or when I'm trying to finish a task that is a little bit urgent. But yeah, this is where I am. This is where I am at right now.